Elizabeth Warren steps up now. Now, this is the speech that everybody's been looking forward to because progressives in the country view her as one of the few real progressives. She's running for Senate in Massachusetts. We know she's a real progressive because she aggressively took on the banks and said, not on my watch. Now, unfortunately, it didn't become her watch because President Obama wouldn't appoint her. Now, even though President Obama didn't really have her back, she wound up having his back tonight anyway because she spoke forcefully in favor of President Obama now that she's running for the Senate. Now, look, Progressive Change Campaign Committee has already raised $1 million. That's just one group for one candidate. Raised $1 million for Elizabeth Warren because progressives know we can trust her. So that's why everybody's looking forward to this speech. By the way, overall, she's raised $28 million, 43% from small donors. It's one of the largest percentage coming from small donors because people are excited about her. So why? Because she's ready to take on the establishment, and she's going to show it here.
I talked to small business owners all across Massachusetts, and not one of them, not one, made big bucks from the risky bets that brought down our economy. I talked to nurses and programmers, salespeople and firefighters, people who bust their tails every day, and not one of them, not one, stashes their money in the Cayman Islands to avoid paying their fair share of taxes.
Now, look, that's a good zinger against Mitt Romney, but it also has a really good point in there, which is that, come on, who are we kidding? They play by different rules. The rich and connected get to stash their money in the Cayman Islands. You and I don't get to do that. Everybody knows that. A small business owner in Massachusetts doesn't get to. So my dad was a small business owner in New Jersey. You think he had accounts in Switzerland and Cayman Islands? Of course not. They play by different rules. That's what makes us so mad. But you know what? She had one of the best lines of the convention here when she talked about the real purpose of the Republicans.
Republicans say they don't believe in government. Sure they do. They believe in government to help themselves and their powerful friends.
That is so true, and I love it because almost no one else says it. They pretend as if the Republicans are actually in favor of small government, when they're not, whether it's the issue of women's rights and how they want to get between them and their doctor, but most importantly on these financial issues, the whole party is based on a lie. They don't want libertarian principles and smaller government, etc. No, they do giant giveaways. The oil subsidies are the best example. $40 billion given away to the oil companies that don't need it at all. Now, if you were a small government advocate, if you were a real conservative or a real libertarian, why would you take American taxpayer money and give it to the most profitable companies in the world to do something that they would do in the free market anyway? No. The entire Republican Party is based on crony capitalism. And the fact that she's one of the few people who calls it out is terrific. But now, here comes the line of the entire convention. Literally got the best applause of any speech, and there have been a lot of great speeches with a lot of huge applause lines. It's because of the content of the line. Watch.
After all, Mitt Romney's the guy who said, corporations are people. No, Governor Romney, corporations are not people. People have hearts, they have kids, they get jobs, they get sick, they cry, they dance. They live, they love, and they die. And that matters. That matters. That matters because we don't run this country for corporations. We run it for people.
Now, there was no zinger in there. It wasn't a particularly clever wordplay or anything along those lines. It was just a simple statement about how corporations are obviously not people. And man, people love that line because it's true. That's the applause that the whole country is doing, not just the Democrats, but so many Republicans and definitely real libertarians. We're sick of hearing about how corporations are people and that we should give them these special rights where they don't get to go to jail. They don't, have any of the downsides of being a human being, any of the responsibility, but they get all the rights and they get to buy our politicians. We're tired of it. And we know they're not real people. Of course they don't have kids, they don't have hearts, they don't die, etc., etc. That's why when she says those lines, and I love the way she said it in the middle of the applause, you get a sense of the American people are tired of it. And again, the heart of the problem with the Republican Party is that they don't represent us. They represent those corporations who are their top donors. And the fact that Elizabeth Warren calls them out on it over and over again is the reason why progressives trust her.